Anyway, okay, well, hi everybody. I'm very happy to see you. So there's two things we have left to do this 6 weeks. One of them we may or may not get to, but we're going to move forward with our 1619 project today. And so let's talk about that a little bit, okay? Um, Actually, let's start by me reminding you that you are taking the PSAT on October 29th. It is a Thursday. It is all juniors are welcome on campus that day, even those of you who elected to study virtually. Okay, all of you are allowed up here that day to take the PSAT. On this slide, which should be in your Google Classroom, you are able to click these links to see inside the test, to see what to bring, and to do some practice problems. What do you need to bring? You need pencils and a calculator. I believe the school provides both of those for you, but just in case, I would definitely bring pencils. And go ahead and start looking at those test questions now to give you every possible advantage for the actual test. Okay, that being said, hi Isaac. Let's look at the 1619 project. I am going to drop the link into the chat so everybody can go here. So go ahead and join me now. Here, the New York Times 1619 project. And like we said last time, this is the introduction of it. In August of 1619, a ship appeared on this horizon near Point Comfort. It was a coastal port in the English colony of Virginia, and it carried more than 20 enslaved Africans who were sold to the colonists. No aspect of the country that would be formed here has been untouched by the years of slavery that followed. On the 400th anniversary of this fateful moment, it is finally time to tell that story truthfully. So, last class, we read an essay, and you guys used a graphic organizer to chart your thinking. You're going to do the same thing today. You're going to select an essay to read, and I have a different graphic organizer for you to use to chart your thinking. Larry, you will be happy to hear that we will not be using Kami to annotate this. Let's talk about the different essays that are possible. There is an essay on capitalism, an essay on myths about the physical racial differences between people, races. There's an essay on power, an essay on Black music, an essay on infrastructure and segregation, basically how they built roads in Atlanta to divide Black neighborhoods. There's an essay on universal health care, an essay on prisons and the prison system, an essay on sugar, that ingredient that we put in almost every single thing. That what was driving the slave trade. There is an essay on the wealth gap, and there is an essay on the way history is taught in schools. So let me show you how to find these essays. You're just going to pick one to read. But as you scroll down, you'll see these they almost look like paragraphs. Our democracy's founding ideals were false when they were written. Black Americans have always fought to make them true. That was the essay we read last week. If I scroll down, here's another one. You want to understand the brutality of American capitalism, you have to start on the plantation. So that's one essay you could read. We've got a photo essay, which is not one you can use, but you can look at it. Myths about the physical racial differences were used to justify slavery and are still believed by doctors today. You can read that one. America holds on to undemocratic assumption from its founding that some people deserve more power than others. You can read that essay. For centuries, Black music has been the sound of artistic freedom. No wonder everybody's always stealing it. You could read that essay. Here is a poem from the middle passage. What does a traffic jam in Atlanta have to do with segregation? Quite a lot. Why doesn't the United States have universal health care? The answer begins with policies enacted after the Civil War. Slavery gave America a fear of Black people and a taste for violent punishment. Both still define our prison system. The sugar that saturates the American diet has a barbaric history as the white gold that fueled slavery. A vast wealth gap driven by segregation, redlining, evictions, and exclusion separates Black and white America. Then you have another photo essay on students who've gone to Harvard Law. Most Americans still don't know the full story of slavery. This is the history you didn't learn in school. We are committing educational malpractice, why slavery is mistaught and worse in American schools. Okay, so those are some of the choices you guys have for essays. I'm asking you to pick one and to fill out the graphic organizer that is in Google Classroom. If you look under classwork, you'll see 1619 Project Part 2. That's where we are today. And it's got the essays, and then it's got the actual graphic organizer. All right. So as you're reading, you're going to look for 3 historical facts that surprise you, 3 quotes from the essay or lines that stand out to you, and 3 questions you have about the content of the essay. And then you'll turn that in. While you are reading this, I still want you to think about that central question that I brought up last class. What does it mean to be an American? On Thursday, you're going to write about this. And that's it. That is what I expect from you guys today. So you can pick any of those essays that you would like to read, fill out the graphic organizer as you read. Just keep thinking in the back of your mind, what does it mean to be an American? All right, anybody have any questions? Then let me say, if we were in class, you guys would spend the class working on your own on this. Since we are not physically in class, you are welcome to hop off, save your hotspot minutes or your Wi-Fi or whatever, and work individually. I will be here the entire class time. If you have questions, you may hop back on. Or you can just work online if you want. Like, you can stay in class and work. It's up to you, however you feel like you will be most successful. But read an essay, fill out the graphic organizer, and think about that question. Okay? If you don't have any questions, you can hop off. And if you do have questions, stick around.